Hey, what's up, guys? This video is about the rodeo. I know there's a lot of stuff that happened in the rodeo. I'll cover all that, but let's get to the topic, man. Health inspection. So I've been hearing a couple of reviews about Beyonce mom, Miss Knowles. She had a food stand there at the rodeo. She's serving gumbo. So me, I don't know if I told you guys before, I had plenty of bad experiences with gumbo, but anyway, she has a gumbo booth there at the rodeo. I've been hearing a couple reviews saying that the gumbo is trash, long story short, but it got to the point to where people actually started getting sick from the gumbo. So of course we all know how that plays out. Once you start getting sick, go ahead and get the food inspector in there. So they shut it down because the food inspector shut it down. At the end of the day, the gumbo is just trash. I'm gonna say this: we all know, us colored folks, that our parents been telling us since we was little kids, since we can remember, you can't eat everybody's food. Nothing against the lady, but ever since I started seeing photos of her, of her parents, of Beyonce's parents, the mom always stood out in a bad way. Now I'm not saying this because now the gumbo, no. I always felt this way about her. Don't know her from a can of paint, but you know what they say, photos, says 1,000 words, right? She looks evil. Does she not look evil to any one of you? I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I'm gonna stand my ground on that. I'm not gonna bag up. I don't care, what happens later on down the road. This video, it might gain some traction and people try to. I don't care, even if that does happen. It is what it is, bro. The woman just looked like pure evil. She literally looked like one of them damn Disney characters, that we used to see growing up. I'm like, so not saying, not people saying witchcraft and yada yada yada. She do look like a witch, It's funny that these women bring that up. I'm like, she do look like a witch, but everything about me, as far as about her. It just seems like she's an evil person. You know what I mean? It's like she looks evil. The little short interviews that I would come across of her. It comes off as evil to me. Now I could be wrong. I don't know, but I'm gonna say a person that looks like her can be a lot of good stuff happen. That's all I gotta say. Don't get me wrong. You got some nice people that's serial killers, but you also have some serial killers that people who look like serial killers that are serial killers. So there you go, right? But her, she do some shady stuff. I'm gonna say that. And I know she in the music industry, even though her dad is the reason for her child, his child's success, the Destiny Child, and then she ventured off into her own thing. If anybody care to know the history of her, she started off in a group, Destiny Child, and she ventured off into herself, into her own thing. She's a solo artist now. But anyway, it just, when you see her, it's like, that's the thing too, people just don't have warning signs. I know a lot of people, and I'm not saying she's an evil person, that gumbo thing, I'm gonna say this right now, it's easy to mess up gumbo. I don't care for gumbo, but the people that's, I know a lot of people from New Orleans, even though, my family, long time ago, we originated from there, but, people that's in Louisiana, they know about the gumbo, right? The actual people, that mess with gumbo. Yeah, I know it's easy to mess that up. So I understand people saying, oh, it's hot outside, this and that. I understand that, but nah, player, you paying almost $30 a cup. And they say the cup is, it's an okay size, but it's $30, bro. So I'm not messing with that already. Of course, support, how they do support, yada, yada, yada. But I always say this, I'm only going to support if it makes sense. I understand that we got this whole black liberation thing we try to, continue or whatever like that. At the end of the day, if you're serving garbage, I'm not going to support. You know what I mean? If you're charging way more than what you should, I'm not going to support. That's just what it is. You don't let that fool you. So of course, she gonna bring in a lot of customers because of who she is. Of course she's not Beyonce, but she's her parents. That's Beyonce mom, so people still support her just because you affiliate with her. That's your daughter or whatever. So, but the fact that you're putting out trash oh, that's a wrap. So you can't get mad at this. Let me say this. Let me back it up. This is what the logical black people, the black people that got sense to talk about, right? We try to support our own, and then you got these knuckleheads out here effing it up. That's a prime example. So I'm not gonna allow the people, you got people that's trying to put out excuses, but it's the ones that didn't fucking go to the rodeo and buy the gumbo. Matter of fact, they never even went to the rodeo, let alone buy the gumbo. So those are the miserable people, because instead of you holding someone accountable, you're looking for a way out. You're trying to give them an excuse for poor procedures. What the hell does the temperature have to do with your shitty ass gumbo? That's like me going to a pizza parlor and having some shitty pizza. Oh man, it was St. Patrick's Day. That's why the pizza was bad. Well, I don't give a fuck. That don't make no sense. But those are the self-hating people you gotta watch out for. Why are you trying to come up with an excuse? First of all, you're not saying you gotta be from Louisiana to know about gumbo, but you're not from Louisiana. You didn't go to the fucking rodeo and you didn't buy the gumbo. But you want to make a dumbass video about why these same people shouldn't be mad about her terrible, expensive ass gumbo. Now I understand the rodeo. Keep in mind, for anyone who goes to these rodeos, call any major event, they tax the hell out of you. I talked to plenty of vendors, and you can make a lot of money, but you gotta charge them way more than what you normally would. They're not charging people the price is not the price because they decide to the vendors decide to charge that much. No, the price is the price because the damn event holders is charging the shit out of the damn the vendors. So if they selling, I don't know, if they selling burger boxes, if they selling burger boxes for $15, like if they probably got like a brick and mortar, they got a food truck. If they selling a burger boxes for $15 at their food truck or at they brick and mortar shop, but if you go to a major event like a carnival or something like that, or a rodeo, and it's $40, it's because the event holders is charging them a shitload of money. Remember, they gotta make a profit. They're not going there for the fun of it. So if I'm charging you $15 for my burger box, but if I go to the damn carnival and they say, hey man, and this is true too, they charge you for the spot and they charge you per transaction. I didn't even know that. That messed my head. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, bro. So if they charging me, let's just say $5,000 just to be there, and I'm pretty sure I'm lowballing the hell out of it. But just stick with me here. If they charging me $5,000 for me to set up my little burger stand, and then on top of that they come back and say, hey man, not only are we gonna charge you $5,000 for your spot, but we're gonna charge you 20% per transaction. I'm like, what the hell? So I'm charging 15. So I'm doing the math. I'm like, oh, damn. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna sell a lot because there's a lot of people here, and I'm gonna be here all, the whole week or however long the event is. But if you're gonna charge me 20% per transaction, that means I gotta automatically double my price. So instead of me charging 15, I gotta charge you 30. So I gotta make my money. You know what I mean? This is what it is. So there you go. So for the people who's talking about the price, it's like, well, this is like that at any major event because a lot of people don't know the business side of it, which is cool. But if you're going to complain, you need to ask why. Don't just sit there, oh, they charge so much. Ask why, bro. I don't understand people. Y'all worry about the dumbest shit, but when it's something that concerns, something that's important to you, you don't want to get the information that's needed for you to understand why it's happening to you, right? That's all it is to it. So this let that be known. If you go to any major event, it's going to be expensive because the vendors there is being charged by the event holders. They're charging them for the spot, and now they're charging them per transaction. So, keep that in mind. So, her charging almost $30 for the gumbo, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, she ain't, at the end of the day, she's trying to make a profit. So after she paid them people, she not trying to walk away with $200. And you keep in mind, she there the whole time serving that nasty ass gumbo, bro. She not there for 2 hours. No, she wanted to be there all day, and then she got to be there the next day, the next day, the next day. This is how it works. So again, like, people understand when you go to these events, if you go to the concert, how much is a beer at the concert? One of the concerts I remember going to, we had mixed drinks. I told you about the ugly girl, the one who, her parents died with her. I went with her one of the concerts. The drinks was literally, I think, like $18. Don't get me wrong, it was great because you only needed one. But this is what it is. She's like, well, look what we had. You know, we had the major venues. It's not, you know, it's just, it is what it is. They charge that price for a reason. But that's what it is. Like, you already know, like, don't go in there thinking that everything, you know, like you shopping at the Dollar Tree. Like, no, it's a business. People getting charged in there. They don't work for the facility. You know what I mean? This is what it is. So anyway, the gumbo, regardless of what this, you know, this chick say, you know, a little bald-headed chick or whatever, she over here mad because she couldn't, apparently she couldn't go to the damn rodeos, but she hating on everybody else who went to the rodeo and had a bad experience with the gumbo. So her serving terrible gumbo, that's on her. And that's the thing too. I don't care who you are. I'm not gonna let it slide. I don't care who mama you is or whatever. That could be Beyonce herself, which they not gonna do because they don't want to deal with that. Beyonce literally can be there herself serving the gumbo. I'm putting her on the spot. Like, hey Beyonce, no disrespect. You know, I like a couple of your songs or whatever, but this gumbo is ass. What's up? Can I get my money back? That's the thing about a lot of people. Y'all so starstruck that y'all let shit slide. But I applaud the black women that stood 10 toes down. Because at the end of the day, we not doing this just because we not gonna throw our money. They not throwing I'm saying it like I was there. They not gonna throw their money away just because don't matter who you are. So the fact that they actually spoke up about it, they gave their honest opinion. Remember, it's not like they gave, regardless if it was free or not, which it wasn't, they gave their honest opinion. And on top of that, you have people getting sick from your food. I'm gonna say this too. Even though I know not necessarily how to cook it, I know enough about gumbo, right? Like I tell you guys, I had plenty of terrible experience with gumbo. I know gumbo easily can spoil. So me being a business person, I'm not gonna serve that shit there because why? If I mess up slightly, that's the thing about gumbo. If you slightly mess up, it's over. It's it. That's it. So that's all. I'm not taking that chance. I'm getting something I know that's not gonna cause me any problems. As far as me preparing the food, it's not gonna take necessarily long for me to prepare the food. I can hand it out, and I ain't gotta worry about someone getting sick with my food. So it's gonna be something simple that's been working. I'm just going along with the program. So when you do something like that, you serving seafood, this and that. Oh no, you didn't risk your chances of something going bad. Then went even higher because you're dealing with these shrimps, crabs, whatever kind of seafood you're selling, and then you're out here in the damn sun. So your chance of something going bad is even higher compared to somebody flipping hot dogs or serving turkey legs or serving ice cream, something simple, right? But when you try to bring something complex to a event like that, first of all, how long it take to make the damn gumbo? How much, you know, like all that stuff coming into play, it's like, is it even worth you selling the gumbo? Like, you need to sell something else, sell some jambalaya, sell some dirty rice, sell some boudin. I would've sold some damn boudin. I would've sold some boudin, some crackers, some like, you know, some, what they call it, plantains or whatever. I would've sold, that's simple. And then if anything, if you got a restaurant, hey, here's some coupons. Yeah, you know, I serve gumbo at my, that's there and you good. But she didn't think it out. Obviously, you know, she was with her husband, that would be a different story, but I'm not gonna get to that. But that's what I'm talking about. People don't plan things out. You just go with the flow of the wind. I know damn well if that was a dude, he wouldn't have sold them damn gumbo, because gumbo is very complicated. It's too much that you have to do to, you know, let alone to make the gumbo. And then on top of that, it's like, okay, well, what's the situation? You selling outside? I'm not buying no gumbo that somebody's slinging outside. All that stuff comes into play. But if you're not thinking about the consequences, you're gonna be in her situation. So the fact that she's serving slop, and it's not even about the price, because it's just that's what the price is. She's charging because she's trying to make a profit. Like I say, the venue charging her a lot of money. She's trying to make a profit. She's not doing it for fun. She's doing it for funds. So the fact that all that happened, and I don't know, she need to give out a public apology to the women who got sick for trying to support her. And then we can move forward. But like I say, it's just what it is. Like, you know, it's sad that it happened, but I applaud the black women that spoke out about it. You know, they didn't go in there ill with it. That's the thing about it. Because you have a lot of black people, I told you guys before, there's a lot of criminal activities going on in those households. I'm not gonna get to, I want to stretch the video, but they go off that, oh, don't say nothing, don't tell nothing. So whenever a black person speaks about another black person when they doing something wrong, guess what? They always try to silence them. And a lot of them don't even know. They just been programmed like this since they're a little kid. You know, they uncles, they daddy, they brothers, or they, you know, somebody in their family done been doing stuff to them, and what they did, their grandma, their mama tell them to shut up and keep quiet. So when I'm saying black women came out and they wouldn't attack, they was telling what it is. They're like, hey, this ain't it. Those saying, those other black women like, oh, don't say nothing, y'all hate no, dumbass. She's spreading awareness. That's the problem. So that's why I tell you guys, you gotta be very careful when you dealing with this particular group of women, because a lot of them are messed up, man. They may look nice, but a lot of them are messed up. The first sign of danger, they gonna get mad at you because you trying to protect her. They not used to that. A lot of them not used. They used to just being along with the chaos. So if it's something, you know, this is what it is. So it saddens me today, but I know how it goes in that community. Whenever you try to warn people of danger in that community, a lot of them gonna go against you because they so used to, oh, don't say nothing. No, fuck that. She poisoned me. Bitch, I want some money. Like, however they gonna go about this or whatever, but she need to go ahead and issue a public apology. But like I say, the way she look, I ain't trusting shit she got going on, because it's just certain, man, listen, man, you just gotta go out, you gotta have some good instincts or something. I'm not saying she a bad person, I know she didn't do that on purpose, she just didn't plan it out as far as her doing the whole gumbo stand. So I'm not bashing her about that. Shit happens, but again, a lot of people not gonna look at it like that. You know, a lot of people, of course, when you doing better than them, they want you to fuck up. So they can, see, I told you, so they can throw dirt on her. I'm not saying none of that. I'm not saying, oh, she a bad person because of the gumbo. The gumbo was a setup. Nah, it wasn't a setup. She just made a mistake. That's all it was to us. I'm not turning around and saying attack her or nothing like that. But what she need to do, go ahead and issue a public apology to her, so, you know, to her customers, and then however she want to deal with that, that's on her. But outside of that, there's something about her, bro. It's like I'm okay. I don't want to be around people who makes me feel uncomfortable. And the way she look, it's like you're not gonna look that way just because. Like, it's something about her. I know she got some skeletons in the closet, right? I'm gonna say that. So I'm not attacking the woman, but I'm just telling you guys right now, like, it's just something about her this don't seem right. I'll say that. So anyway, move forward. If you guys experienced the gumbo, if you went to the rodeo, let me know how everything went. But as far as the women that, you know, that gave the honest reviews, you know, I applaud you for that, because of course you see what happened when you try to look out for your people. Your same people won't look out for you. They trying to shame you and don't tell nobody. Why wouldn't they want to tell people, like, hey, don't get on gumbo, we getting sick? So the women who got sick, you know, I hope you guys, you know, you get a speedy recovery. I hope it's not nothing dire. But you know, again, you know, sorry that happened to you. But anyway, guys, if you have any questions and concerns, you know, leave them down below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. And no matter what else, take your peace, your pockets, and your purpose.